coming back like Jordan. 2-3 to the 4-5. Got the flu, but I'm feeling fresh, so I'm busting back from the trade line. They ain't dealing with the range, though. Catch me in the range, cause I got dough. Shooting up the range, trying to catch a dough. Quick the dough, all in the range, though.
Here we are back again with another podcast of Superhero Academy, episode 23. And today, Wednesday, March 17th, we're going to touch on very quickly. We're not going to be here for a long time today. We're going to touch on getting things done. It's been something in my life that I don't think I've really taken full responsibility for getting things done in my own life. I was talking to a friend yesterday about how we show up to our jobs. This is actually a coworker. Yeah. Most of us, when we're not entrepreneurs, we show up to our jobs and we just show up. I don't know if we ever really go 100% to try to be that person. A lot of us did it in school. You want to be the spokesperson at your graduation, graduate summa cum laude, and valedictorian. And I told myself I never wanted those things. And it's funny, the stories that we tell ourselves about why we don't do certain things, or the reasons why we're here. We make up excuse after excuse and reason after reason why we won't do something, why we don't like something. And mindfulness shows us that in each moment we're supposed to be impartial and just be. And when we're just being and doing, you notice those things that are intrinsic to your core, your values, your strengths, your traits, who you are as a person. And that's why we move from career to career or job to job. And that's why some of us go to become entrepreneurs. And I tell you what, I've had a resistance my whole life to being an entrepreneur because I watched my father do it. And this man would slave. And as a father of now, not all the children were his, but kids, 6 of us, watching him work like that was horrifying for me, because I never believed as a kid that you should be working like that and not making any money. And to watch him do that just set a bushel over the fire in my soul to really go out and get what you're worth. And that's what entrepreneurism is going out to get what you're worth. So we're talking about today getting things done. And you can't be an entrepreneur if you're not ready to get things done, like at any second of every day. Some people who are on call, you've got doctors on call, or you're a fireman or firewoman and you're at the fire station and you're on call for 3 days straight, mentally to be ready at any moment you're on edge. And there's a book I've been reading, The Superior Man, The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And he talks about in that book living on the edge of your fear. And on the edge of fear, there's things that we fear. And it's not living in fear, and it's not living outside of fear. It's not running from your fear, but finding the place where you're most uncomfortable and being there. Not even most uncomfortable, just like a little bit uncomfortable. Stay in that spot. You don't have to force yourself to do anything. And this is the difference between power and force. Power is something that comes from within, and force is something that is without. So in this state of dispassion, where you are able to use ration and logic instead of being moved around by powerful emotions and feelings, which are also good in certain things, but to be a person who is dispassionate, which just means you're able to rationally think and do things logically. So getting shit done. And as a person in society, in any form, any way, whether you're going to a job, and listen, I used to work at pizza shops. I've done the food thing, where you show up and you get stuff done. Even in your own life, there's things that you got to get done that we don't get done because we'd rather do something else. But really what it is we're running from that fear. The fear of possibly failing. When you get to show up to work, you're not worried about failing. All you got to do is show up. There's no fear of failure. There's no fear of not getting it done. You show up. You've been doing the job for years. It's comfortable. It's easy. But to sharpen your own edge by living constantly on the edge of your uncomfortableness, and to learn within that to do the things that are necessary for you to not just survive, but win, to learn how to win consistently, to learn how to be grateful and show gratitude for the little wins each and every day, mentally builds us up with not only just discipline, but the fortitude, the courage to continue on in that path. When you set out to do something as a person, you're taking responsibility for your life. You're taking complete responsibility for everything that needs to be done in that moment. For me, as a young man aiming to become a man, to become a fully responsible person, is something that I've wanted. And you know what's funny? I've always told myself that I didn't want responsibility for a whole lot of stuff. There is no point in your life when you can look at your own life and live with any form of, I don't feel like being responsible. When you want to bring value to the table and value to people's lives as an entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, your businesses will 100% fail if it's about you. Being an entrepreneur is about solving a problem, creating a solution for people to live better lives. That's what being an entrepreneur is about. We're here to help people. We think that we've come up with something that can be of use to other people. We're living out our purpose through our entrepreneurship. We're being responsible for our lives and for getting shit done. So, to hit on the getting stuff done, it can be tough to live in every moment if you're not being mindful. First of all, be grateful that we're even in this opportunity to think about getting stuff done and not thinking about just hand to mouth. Where's our next meal coming from? How am I getting to work? Et cetera, et cetera. So if you're in that place, focus on developing yourself so that you can worry. Now, if you are ready to get stuff done in any level, whether it's you want out of the mediocre job that you find yourself in, your desire inside. So there's all these texts that talk about quenching desire. Don't live from a place of desire. Desire tells us that we are incomplete without something. And you're already complete as an individual. You have everything that you need. Right now, you have everything that you need. But getting stuff done allows us to go to a whole nother level. A year of day in, day out, completing the tasks that you set for yourself. You see these boards that I got up. Now, I have failed on these boards by putting up dates. And dates just add resistance. And obviously in my classes with David Meltzer, I found this out. Now, being a student of the calendar, and we talked about this before, I forget which episode it was. Being a student of your calendar allows you to find out where you can bring value to yourself through how you're using your time. Most of us don't understand how we're using our time. To be able to get stuff done consistently, you have to know where your time is going. How are you spending your days? How are you spending your time? How are you spending each and every moment? And that's not to be OCD about it. That's to know that first, your thoughts create you as a person. So by controlling your thoughts, you can effectively control your environment and the things that stem from your environment, because your thoughts use environment as a catalyst to bring themselves to reality. Your thoughts want to be made real. So they use your subconscious and create situations to manifest themselves. To control your mind and say, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is what I aim to do. Obviously, this is when you're in alignment with your purpose. And you have these things that you are inside intrinsically that you're going to go after. Willing to take responsibility for your life. Now you're ready to get things done. And that's not to say that you can't have relaxed time or that you can't have time where you hang out with family and friends. But again, to hang out with family and friends for an unlotted amount of time, 6-7 hours, is that getting things done? So you can have breaks. We all need breaks. But then get back to getting stuff done. You do have to be a student of your calendar. You do have to have your goals written out in smart form, specific, measurable, attainable, relative, timely. Smart goals, specific things that you can do. So if you've got a thing that you want to reach, you've got to write down the steps for it. And you can accomplish steps each and every part of your day, which lead up to weeks, which leads up to months, which end up to years of which you've been working on getting things done. To get things done takes a little bit of fortitude. I'm going to get this done regardless of what happens. When's the last time you were really like that as a person to say, I'm going to get this done regardless? Was it sports? Athletics? For me, yeah, you had a coach yelling at you. It is good to have accountability partners and coaches, but for right now, some of us don't have money for that. If you do, go get a coach. It's absolutely necessary. I have a coach, 2 coaches actually right now that I'm working with, David Meltzer and David Key specifically. And being accountable, showing up to the coaching sessions, taking away homework for every week, and focusing on consistent, persistent, right, as David Meltzer puts it, the consistent, persistent pursuit of our potential. And I love that because that's what it is. In a day in and day out basis, all you have is the things that you do or the things that you don't do. He also says, which I love, the activities that we do each and every day are activities that either make us money or don't make money. You're either making money or you're not. And the money that you make is according to the value that you bring to the table each and every day. If you were to show up to your job each and every day with the focus that you're going to get things done and not half-ass it, not leave things half done, not wait until tomorrow to get things done. You tax your future with unproductivity today. By not doing something today, you're taxing your future. Think about that. Getting things done is a matter of how responsible you're willing to be with your life, and how responsible you're willing to be. That's putting a lot of value on the table. You bring a lot to the table when you decide to be fully responsible 100% for your actions. But to be responsible and control your actions, you got to control your mind. So to get things done, highly suggest with a calendar, goal boards, attention, intention, and focus. Wherever those things are going in your mind, that's exactly what will pan out during the course of your day. Try to get a couple of things done every day. Eventually, you'll build up to a point where you're just getting shit done. But you do have to start somewhere. So if you haven't started, decide to be responsible. Decide that no matter what, day in and day out, not only will you be in every moment, but you're going to do the things that are necessary to reach your goals. If you don't have goals, set something, specific goals, measurable goals, attainable goals, relative goals, timely goals. This is episode 23, Superhero Academy. It's your boy, James Taylor. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at JWillTay, my Instagram, LibraJ. Head on over to superheroacademyonline.com for the blog content that comes out every week. And then we got the podcast and the YouTube. So keep hitting the like button. Share with your friends. Subscribe if this content has helped you out. We'll see you next week.
Tough, man. Yeah, coming back like Jordan, 2-3 to the 4-5. Got the flu, but I'm feeling fresh, so I'm busting back from the trade line. They ain't dealing with the range, though. Catch me in the range, cause I got dough. Shooting up the range, trying to catch a dough. Quick the dough, all in the range, though.